Morning, guys. It's Chris from the daxtrader.co.uk. It's the 31st of July. This is the Dax Technical Analysis. Trading disclaimer applies. It's in the description below. Please read that before you continue. And if you haven't done so already, go to the website, thedaxtrader.co.uk, and check out the new look and feel of the homepage. There are lots of resources that are on there, freely available for you to use. And although a lot of the content is reserved for our members, you can access the rest of that on the member page. Just log into the account to find it. All right, so let's just take a look at the economic calendar. So today is going to be a pretty interesting day. 10 o'clock, we've got about an hour to go, and then we've got the European GDP, unemployment numbers, and CPI numbers as well. So that is going to provide a bit of lift off, you would imagine, unless it's disappointing. So keep an eye out for that. We've also got a few American numbers coming out later on as well, but go and check out the economic calendar. Lots of stuff is going on this week. BOJ interest rate decision already happened, and nothing really particularly interesting on that. So yeah, we'll continue on. There is a news page. You can access that from the website. Go and check that out as well. You find things out about Fresenius and Vivendi and Lufthansa and some of the other companies, because it, of course, is earnings season at the moment. And before we get on to looking at the DAX prices, I did find something a bit unusual with the cryptos this morning because, all right, it's just been a little bit slow. Have a look at the volume that was traded on Bitcoin, and you'll notice that there was quite a lot that was traded. Unfortunately, I'm not going to wait for that to load up. We've got better things to do with my time. But it was over nearly like 300 million as far as volume was concerned for Bitcoin. So just go and check that out and see what you think of it. All right, so straight into the charts. This morning, we've had a bit of an interesting start to the day. We had a gap higher, and now we've actually tested an interesting level, which I'll show you on a different chart in a moment. Minor trends are bearish, that should say, not bullish. Bearish below 12,846 at the moment. So we'll wait for that to continue. But overall, really, the major trend is bullish above 463. So I've got this fork here that I've drawn on the chart. It's the same as yesterday. We're looking for a retracement, probably a little bit deeper than where it is at the moment. But zooming in on the next chart will give us a better idea of what's going on. So what interested me was this. I drew a fork here from these three minor alternating pivots. And I've drawn a line that connects the AC. So by AC, I mean if this is our A line, our A pivot, that's our B pivot, that's our C pivot. So draw an AC line. And look, we've got a reaction off that AC line. So it failed to break above that, which is interesting. So I had a pretty strong reaction from it. We failed to reach the median line on this particular fork as well. So it's a little bit jumpy, probably in anticipation of what's happening in the next hour, which will be to do with the European news. All right, a couple of levels to mark out on the chart. 12,800 was the resistance. There's another interesting point here. Look at that Camarilla breakout level. It just got tagged and then rejected. So our IB high is formed pretty much on that zone, which is where we've had another rejection. So interesting level of confluence. Coming down towards this cam support line at 754 and 732. Somewhere in that zone could be interesting for a relatively aggressive buy. But it might be good to have those on the chart. Before we come back to those levels, let's just get the daily pivot as well. Wrong chart. Let's just get that over here. Might need a new tick to come out here on this chart. There we go. And just get that updated. Here we go. So the daily pivot is 796 and the S2 is 714. So they're two levels to mark out on the chart in order to watch a reaction for it. Okay, I'm not going to go through this strategy, but this is our BBRSI strategy, and you can go and find that on the forum if you remember. You can get access to the indicator for that one, but a couple of nice trades came out from that yesterday. Trade signal, should I say. All right, I've got a 250 tick chart here, and I've got a third reason why that level is interesting. Like the AC line we talked about, the Camarilla breakout level, and this particular developing multi-pivot line It started its life out as a downsloping high-to-high trend line, just using those two. Got a third touch there, and now it's had its fourth tag there. This is a multi-pivot line, resistive multi-pivot line. So that might well turn into a center line at some point soon. And if we get a breakout above that center line, then it would be an interesting opportunity to get long, maybe. So I'm watching that pretty closely. I also do like how that rejection was straight through the gap. Being interesting. Oh, you will easily see here what this looks like on a profile chart, I think. Just simply a low volume area. We've missed that POC. That's interesting. Let me just see if we did. Yeah, we have. We've missed that POC, which was about 825 this morning. So we were just a fraction of a point underneath it. I was expecting that to go. But it didn't. So to the downside, we've got 744. You expect that to get a look in at some point. 659 is a bit of an ask, only really on perhaps an increase in interest rates or some kind of dovish announcement from ECB. Would you imagine that that would actually go today? But they are to the downside, and 456 is probably unlikely, but never say never. We've taken out 833 already as an exposed POC, so 13 and 33 is the next one above. But really, just to kind of summarize for the DAX, still remain bullish. It's still pretty clearly bullish. And I've got myself onto gold somehow there. It's still pretty clearly bullish above 463. I would like to see a retracement. I'm looking for an opportunity to get long. I have marked out a couple of zones that are interesting to get long. So if you're a premium member, go and check out that video that I've posted. I've posted it for both DAX and FTSE, and it's in the Telegram channel, so go and check it out. But for today, keep an eye out for that ECB release a bit later on. There is going to be volatility, and yeah, just be careful of any of your positions. I'll be posting charts out on the Twitter channel, so if you want access to those, go and subscribe to the Twitter account, and we'll look forward to catching up with you guys again tomorrow. Have a great trading.